Hello everybody, and welcome back to the archive, where we once again return with Final Fantasy XIV. I've been missing this, haven't been able to, other than that very short stream we did, where I found out that I was struggling to get things and item levels sorted. We are here, and I'm not 10 minutes late, although I did say that in the Discord. Turns out I didn't need to be gone for that long. Yet again, I made the mistake of trying to get something to eat in before the stream, even though work ran a little late. So I was trying to push to finish up before I got on. But we're here, and we're going to be playing some more Final Fantasy XIV. Now, there are a couple things on the agenda for the day. I've got more Dark Knight quests to do. I think 2 of them. I've got the level 45 and the level 50. I tried to hit 55 before the stream. I got on a little bit while I was eating and tried to do a couple things. I went up to this guy. I was like, I don't want to do a leveling roulette, so I tried to do a couple of these. And I picked probably the worst dungeons because I don't remember how to do them, especially as tank. I tried Pharos, and I tried fucking Sawmal? No, I tried Pharos, and I tried Wanderer's Palace, and honestly, I don't remember how to play through those dungeons, so I had to drop both, wasting a whole lot of my company seals in the process, but it's fine. I got over it. I was only mildly irritated. Not only that, but I have item level 300 on Ninja, so we can finally continue the post-Stormblood story quest. Hopefully, fingers crossed that nothing goes wrong and we don't spend like 30 minutes in a queue. But the first thing we're going to do is Dark Knight quests, because I still need to learn this job enough to play it for an entire expansion. I am mortified. I'm not very good at tank to begin with, and the thought of doing it for players through the next expansion terrifies me. Anyway, let's go. I'm beginning to question your commitment. You haven't heard the voice since our last communion, which means you haven't taken my lessons to heart. You know I'm trying to help you, don't you? All of this is for your benefit. You listen, but you don't understand. You good? Never mind. You're the stubborn type, I know that. We'll just have to keep at it until you open your eyes. Moribee Dry Docks. That's where we'll head next. Okay, sure. But yeah. I've been playing this a lot in my off time. Trying to practice at least a little bit. I haven't managed to do... I've done a couple of roulettes. I haven't had a ton of time to do a whole lot. And, still trying to get to Palace of the Dead Solo 200. I got pretty far as Dark Knight, though. I got all the way up to floor 150 before running the clock out, fighting that boss. But, I got close. They were only like 15% of the way through left in their health bar. But I just don't think tank is enough damage. Never much cared for the ocean myself. That friend of mine, the one I told you about after our first communion, we came out here together once. Long story short, we ended up doing something ridiculously foolish, and we're lucky to have made it out alive. I tried to talk her out of it, but she just had to get on that damn boat. Don't be like that, friend. Isn't the Maelstrom supposed to aid the small folk when they're in a spot of trouble? So far as it is possible, yes, but such matters fall within the purview of the Yellow Jackets, and they told me to bugger off. Can you believe that? I'm begging you, Sergeant. Wait, is that you? It is the legend herself. Forgive me, madam. I never thanked you properly for your service to Limsa Lominsa. When I first heard Leviathan had been summoned, I feared that... Why, if it isn't that famous adventurer who's been killing primals left and right. Truly, the 12 must be watching over me because you're just the woman I need. I am the victim of a terrible, nay, heinous crime. I was waylaid by Chichurn bandits near the Salt Strand who left me with naught more than the clothes on my back. And what makes you think I give a Chichurn's arse about your troubles? Go and bother the Yellow Jackets like the sergeant said. I seek worthy prey, not a gang of rats. How could you say such a thing, madam? Without your help, I'm ruined. Fine. Spoken like a true hero. So, you know, the rank and file don't seem so dangerous, but their leader was a mean-looking bastard. But, considering the foes you've faced in the past, he couldn't possibly pose a threat to you. Shut your mouth and wait here. I'll be back. Wait a minute. Something weird is going on. Why does he almost seem to be talking as if, like, he's the only one there? Like, I'll be back? There are two of us. Right? I don't know why I'm fucking driving. I can fucking fly. If this Chichurn isn't everything he promised, I'll take it out of his hide. Let's make the most of this. No style, no guile, just chaos. Mark your limits, then push yourself beyond. Let the darkness guide you and set you free. Hell yeah. I mean, that's just sick. Wait a minute. I forget, I'm actually high enough level to use Edge of Darkness. So my volume is a little loud. I'm gonna adjust that a little bit. I hope that wasn't it. Tenacious bastards. Right then, the goods. Yes, you did. Granted, I'm not on at midnight, so, you know, that helps. Finally, a decent week of work that I can actually do this. You did well. All that's left is to return the goods to their owner. Finish it. Finish what we started. What the fuck are you talking about? Sure. But yeah, it's been a crazy couple weeks. Honestly, I'm quite surprised I'm here. I gave it about a 50-50 that somebody would end up calling off and I'd be stuck there until way late in the night. But nope, I got lucky today. Ah, it's you. Were you able to catch up with those bandits? Yep, here's your box. Yes, that seems to be mine, but Lemelin, take me. I can't sell this. Everything's soaked through with Chichern blood. What did you do? Carve one open and leave him to bleed all over my wares? I'm ruined. Utterly ruined. Madam, I demand recompense for your reckless destruction of my property. I'm a reasonable man, so I will acknowledge that you are not wholly responsible. 50% of the value should suffice. Okay. You keep saying things as I. I'm starting to think that you might not really be here. Are you my inner thoughts? That inner darkness creeping in? Is that what's going on right now? I slaughter a gang of Chichern bandits for your precious goods, and this is the thanks I receive? You spineless sack of shite. I kill your enemies, I fetch your things, and I do what you people can't or won't do yourselves. You're helpless, weak, all of you. All you do is want and need. I should have left you to drown in Leviathan's tidal... Oh, yep. Drown in Leviathan's tidal wave, huh? Yeah, pretty sure you weren't there, buddy. There was only one of us in this room that... Or in this space that was there. Oh, hi. At least then I would have been spared your constant bloody whining. Do not speak to me of this ever again. Pray forgive me my insolence, madam. You have every right to be upset, but I think he understands. I like, what the fuck is happening? Hey, you good? Am I good? Fuck. Of course, the horrifying implication is that if that is just a facet of my darkness, that was me saying that very rough things. We can't keep doing this. You must see now what it's doing to us. What they're doing to us. These people. But I mean, that's fair. I am more, the more and more of these quests I do, the more and more I am intrigued. Yes, you are right. You must hearken to its words and discover your true calling. You are close. So very, very close. I wish I could tell you. I wish I could make you see. But all I can do is guide you on your journey. Yeah, I've heard the same thing. I've heard, like, the Dark DRK class quest is, like, one of the best ones set in the game. A chorus of voices cries out for a hero, and she comes. She smiles, she nods, and she remains silent. But she too has a voice. I will be heard. That makes quite a bit of sense, I think. I mean, you know, Shadowbringers and Walker, which I've heard are, like, really great stories. I haven't gotten there yet. I'm really excited to get there. Little bit to go, though. And then this is just very intriguing thus far. You stand at the precipice, but do not fear the fall. Cast yourself into the abyss, and you shall soar above, free at last. There are other lands than these, lands where we are not known. Ask, and we shall quit this place forever. Only when you have renounced everything you are everything. Are you free to do anything? When we meet again, you will give us your answer. No, I just, well, kind of. Like, I thought it would be thematic. It is like the trailer job and all that. But I really just wanted to do something other than play a DPS. So I was gonna do healer or tank anyway. And I was like, if I'm gonna play one of those, I might as well just pick the poster class. It also forces me to actually learn learn the role. I don't know why I'm flying around this map. I need to teleport back. That is true, guys. I have seen the trailer at the very minimum. And yeah, it kind of shows all of them. Yeah, it pretty much brought it down to Gunbreaker or Dark Knight. And it was like, Dark Knight's kind of thematic. It is too different from other tanks? Well, Well, I'm gonna have to think then. I could always swap back to my original plan, which was Gunbreaker. Gunbreaker is already leveled, so I wouldn't even have to level the last 20 levels or so. I'll give it some thought. But for now, we'll at least complete these quests, because at least I'm enjoying going through them. I knew you would come to your senses. Now let us go. We should go somewhere warm, at least for a little while. Wait for me near the gates of judgment. When you are alone, call out and I shall join you. A moment later, Frey departs, though in what direction you cannot seem to recall. With the chat mode and say, use your keyboard. Yep. Nope. We can just travel out of the city the manual way. I knew Dark was different from other tanks, but I didn't think it would be that different. I mean, still fundamental, like, at least with the level 60 stuff that I've used in Palace, seems pretty, straightforward. Very different damage mitigation rotation. It's more like they gave Black Mage a big sword and a few mitigations. Said go tank. Okay, that's more fair. Yeah, because it is pretty reliant. I was surprised when I got so many mitts and so many, like, self-HP recoveries. It's more like a bruiser than a tank, it feels. Alright, I guess I'm just gonna go out into the middle of fucking nowhere. Wait, I know that voice. It's the hero of the Scions. I see. Oh yeah, because the self-heals are really only Carve and Spit, or the AoE version of it, and the last hit of your standard combo rotation. Oh god. Allow me to say what an honor it is to meet you, madame. I mean, by the Fury, the woman who bested Shiva. Every knight under Lord Drillemont's command knows the tale. I could go on, but well, I'll just say it. If I may, madame, we need your help. We've a giant problem. A band of we've a giant problem. There's a very... And maybe we should use a little, like, punctuation here, because giant problem and giant problem are two different things. A band of them has taken to raiding caravans passing through Danifin Pass. We think they may be planning to expand their territory. Lord Julimont wants them gone, but you know how it is. Too much work for too few hands. We'd need at least 24 knights to clear them out safely. But now that you're here, we've nothing to fear. Aye, while we create a diversion, you can slip past and put their leader down. Without him, they're sure to cut and run. So will you help us? We beg of you. Oh. You're really going to pressure me into this, huh? Alright, fine. Pray accompany me to the pass, madame. We can discuss the finer details of our plan there. No. No more. Enough. Alright, well. Yeah, I'll have to rethink my plan. I mean, it's not like I have any, it's not like I have a lack of time to level up another job to 70. I see. I see the issue. I could think it. Yeah. I played quite a bit of Warrior. I've done I think I've done at least one floor 100 Palace of the Dead with Warrior, and I've done several roulettes as Warrior. Gunbreaker is obviously the one I know the best, because I've done a lot of different things. I've done even like level 50 and even higher level dungeon rotations as Gunbreaker. Yeah, I guess I could swing another tank. I'll think about it. I mean, I'm enjoying Dark Knight, but if I want to learn the role and Dark Knight's not good for that, I probably should pick a different tank. You're not wrong about that. I'll probably swap to one of the more general tanks then, instead of the odd tank. The leader should be somewhere in the tunnels. Once you're in position, we'll launch our attack. If all goes to plan, you should only have to contend with the leader and his guards. May the Fury guide and protect us. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's got some pretty nutty damage, like mitts. But yeah, you're not wrong. One mid isn't going to compensate for a whole rotation of them. Alright, Shy instead. Yeah, I get what you meant. No, and that's fine. I wanted to learn to tank, and doing a non-traditional tank isn't the best way to do so. That makes sense. By the Fury, you really did it. And you made it look so easy. As for us, there were some injuries, but nothing serious. It was starting to look rather grim, actually, but the moment he fell, they sounded the retreat. It was an honor to fight with you. You really are everything the bards say. Truth be told, I've been following your deeds for some time now, ever since you first came to Whitebrim Front. Your martial prowess is widely known, of course, but what I found truly inspirational was your compassion for the common man. How you would risk your life without thought for fame and fortune, or how the lowest among us could find a friend in you. Sir! Sir! Is something wrong? It's Lord Julimont, He heard we were in the field with the Warrior of Light and is demanding she come to White Brim Front at once. Demanding? What is the meaning of this? Certain allegations have been made, sir. It would seem she was observed conversing with a corpse in the broom. Not that anyone would believe such slander, of course. I should warn you that some of these allegations were made by temple knights. You may be asked to surrender your weapon. Oh. Oh no. Why is this a fight? Shit. Am I about to fuck up some innocent guards? I fucking hope not. Okay, there's no way I could have done this while also over there and having that conversation. Unless we were okay, I'm confused. Surrender your weapon. After what happened in Ul'dah, they must be mad. Pay attention. This could be the greatest moment of our life. That is, if you could stop denying the truth that's been staring you in the face since the moment we met. Say my name. Say it. My real name. Our real name. Come now, you knew Frey was dead from the beginning, but you didn't care. You had a sword and a soul crystal, but what you wanted was a mentor. A mentor with the gifts and the knowledge. A dark knight who could guide you on the path, who you could aspire to become. A woman who was free to say and do the things you would not. Even now you continue to deny it. Deny me all you want, you cannot deny what we have done. Have I not been good to you? Have I not given you everything I promised? Did I not help you to hear the whispers of our very soul? Open your eyes. Look. Do you see now? Do you see? Okay, you're reacting too, so that means he's actually here this time, it looks like. Everything up till now has been your story. And everything after now will be mine. Cool sword. I want it. I mean, this is cool. Literally fighting the dark thoughts. That's funny. I like this. This is fun. I guess that's a fair point. Oh, I probably should, you know, do tank stance to actually gather all this aggro. I haven't unlocked my gap closer yet. Stand still. Oh, that's actually good to know. Holy shit. It would seem I underestimated myself, but no matter. They have borne witness to the darkness within us, to what lies beneath the mask. I really did, like... So, this is 100% a manifestation we're fighting. It's actually here this time, clearly. We will never forsake you, no matter what. We know who you are. We know, and so do you. Wow, I'm really getting a rallying cry from everybody, huh? No. That's actually really good to know. A fantastic display of willful ignorance. Wipe the slate clean, forgive and forget. Convince yourselves that she can be controlled. The warrior of light, our weapon of light. It isn't too late. We can still be free. So this is your answer. Listen to my voice. Listen to our heartbeat. Listen. It's kind of weird seeing myself talk. If this is how it must be, then so be it. But know that when you tire of this charade, I will still be here, waiting to take the reins. You need only ask. That was a fucking trip. Okay. Wasn't expecting that to be how we opened the night. Praise Salone, you're all right, madame. For a moment, we'd feared we'd lost you forever. Lord Drillimont made clear that we will speak no more of what happened. Not that he had to ask, mind. And as for your friend, I am told he will be interred with full rites. May his soul rest in peace. Are you certain you are all right? You seem a little... Never mind. Fare you well. You subdue your dark side. For now. A dark day's night. Oh, we have another quest to do, apparently. I mean, I'm enjoying this, so we're gonna do this a little bit more. This should be the last quest we have to do before we can continue post-Stormblood. But first, we got an item coffer with full of loot. Which we actually can fully... Those are really the best items we have. They all went into the armory chest, right? No, I don't see them in here. I don't have the cool looking armor. I've got that. Am I blind? Sort. Oh yeah, I guess it is all just level 50 standard tank shit. I was expecting it to be the armor, the gear set and armor they had equipped, but alright. Let's not show helmet. This fucking armor looks fucking ridiculous. Alright, you know what? We'll do that. I'll probably do that quest next time. We should get right onto the Mad King's Trove, because I don't know how long this queue is going to take, and the faster we queue for it, the more likely it is to take less time. Drowned City of Scala. Let's teleport over to... Go over to the actual map we're supposed to be on, because I'm sure there will be quest follow-ups to do after the fact. Yeah, sure, if you want. I can stop the queue. Probably make the queue time a little faster. Scala's good. I've been looking forward to it because I didn't stream this last week, and the week before I only got like 45 minutes in because I hit the 300 item level, like the item level cap, and was like, I had to go through and do all of up to level 70 ninja quests off stream in order to hit level cap. Actually, it wasn't even that. I had to like go out of my way to buy like level 69 like things here and all of this stuff. Alright. While we wait, there are still quests for Aether Currents that we need to do. Oh, there are a couple of these. Okay. I should really have a map up at all times so I can actually see where all of the, like, random Aether Currents are. Because I'm certain I've at least missed, like, 2 or 3 just wandering the map. Okay. Down here in the water, apparently. Nope, up. Went too far. Here we go. Up. Perfect. I wonder if there's a training dummy over here to use, because I still haven't figured out exactly how Tenchi Chin works. Three ninjutsu actions. Over here. Faster speed. All right, let's see. Yep, perfect. Already made it here. Drown City. Oh, you are the party leader. Oh, that mount is adorable. Be great. Big gerbil. Or whatever the fuck that thing is. And now we wait. Hopefully not for too long. While we wait, guess we're gonna get back to these. Probably should... Yeah, there. Probably should really just go through and clean all of these up off stream, but I constantly forget about it. Also, I really still need to remember, I can mount and move at the same time now. Ah, switch to Sage. Ah, oh, yeah, duh. Cancel the queue. There we go. Almost didn't notice. Where am I going? This way. Luckily nowadays, I'm actually kind of confident in my ninja more than anything else. I went from being very not confident to actually decently confident in my abilities. Alright, let's see. So that... Oh, I see. And it probably gives you different results depending on which specific one you pick. So if I had picked E second, it probably would have done something other than Doton. Oh, I'm supposed to capture these things, not kill them. I probably should have read the quest objective. Is that really the only two things here? Damn it. Probably should have thought about that before I killed them. Alright, not quite low enough, huh? Now... Okay, you just throw them in a sack, huh? Perfect. Oh, hello. You tough? Not really. Control 3. So if I hit E here, yep, it'll give me that instead of Doton. Although that kind of makes sense, because hitting the freeze move is an AoE, so it's probably single target or AoE, because Doton's the AoE damage over time ability. How many times can I say AoE in a sentence? Still don't know how I'm carrying these guys in a sack, but that's fine. So I should probably make sure my portrait is actually working. It is. More, oh, there it is. I see. Okay. That makes sense. So if I started off with, like, instead of hitting Q for the initial one, I could hit E instead. Actually, yeah, that makes sense, because QE gives you the lightning, and QER gives you water. So if I started with E, and hit Q, I'd probably get the fire AoE. And then if I hit R after that, it would probably be Doton. That makes sense. good not to use Mudra there. I knew there was a boss fight coming up eventually. I probably should have used a couple of basic combos to get some stacks. Yeah, I probably should have moved that a little farther away. Oop. I don't know what I'm doing here. Hydro pull. Oh, it's a pull. I see. I've misread it. That's just me being a dumbass. As per normal. Duh. Pass. I actually should probably read what the attacks are named, because that might actually give me some information on what they might do. Yeah, just probably the smart thing to do. Okay. Okay. One more. Perfect. Alright, no more Mudra. Oh my god. It's the motherfucker that repels physical. Oh, I see. Figured it out. The fact that that was called Order to Detonate definitely screams DPS check. Kill it or take a lot of damage, probably. Okay, that was neat. I don't know if that's gonna hit that. Pass. Ooh. Pace. Okay. This way, I guess. Last stack. Perfect. What the fuck kind of hair is that? Oop, that's not what I wanted. Oh, I see what's going on. I need to stand near the party. Oh, God. Alright. Really wants to fire off in that direction in particular. Okay, oh shit. This is our fun mechanics. Anything that fucks around with like the play space is really cool. Nope, fuck that up. Get to wear the rabbit of shame. That is a fun dungeon. That was really fun. Goodbye. Rip that guy. Well, at least you get to rest in peace now, buddy. It's better than being whatever the hell that thing was. And pass. Well, I got them anyway. Hey, at least the treasure's here.
It would appear this place is yet inhabited by King Theodoric's kin, or what is left of them. The work of terrible magics, I fear.
Terrible, aye. But their misfortune is our fortune?
Quite. By the 12, there is even more than I imagined.
Who needs phases and shit that are that large? That just seems excessive. Also, seriously, I can't get over the fucking look in that guy's hair.
I can't wait to see the look on Lisa's face. Thanks for believing in me, you two.
Orenwald and I tried to do our fair share, but I fear you ended up bearing the bulk of the burden, as usual. You truly led the way with your adventuring prowess, my friend. Aye, without your help, I'd reckon we'd still be fumbling about in the dark. I'm glad I called on you. I must say, I'm still reeling at the sight of that mountain of riches. What, like how you reeled at the sight of that floating specter, you mean? I wish you could have seen the look on your own face, Elfino. Must we dwell on such momentary lapses? We found the Mad King's trove, and that's all that matters. All jesting aside, we must tell people the good news, and I think Lee should be the first. Seconded, she is bound to be delighted. If I'm no longer needed, then I shall take my leave. Of course, don't let us keep you. Thanks again, and say hello to Vma for me. Vma? Vma. Now then, there is to be a meeting of representatives from across Alamigo, so Lise is sure to be in the city. Shall we seek her out? Alright, I forgot I can use a mount here. Because this is technically a part of an actual zone. God, the movement speed difference. I really need to go through and collect all the Aether Currents. Like, really badly. Granted, I said the same fucking thing playing Heavensward, and look where that got me. Oh, the three of you look pleased with yourselves. What have you been up to? I'm glad you asked, Lise, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna like the answer. You're joking. The Mad King's trove? I thought it was a myth. So did plenty of people, but they didn't have us in their party. The credit to finding it really should go to... should really go to them. And for what to do with it all, I vote that it go towards alleviating the suffering of all Amigos poor. Oh. Huh. I did not know that. I probably should do that, too. I haven't really touched the hunt since I technically unlocked it. Gods. I think I'm thinking of the right thing. The hunt. I think it's the thing that we unlocked in Heavensward, right? The hunting board or whatever it is. Gods, if they're as much as you say. Orenveld did not exaggerate, I assure you. We would not hope to carry even a fraction of it on our own. I've taken the liberty of sketching out a rough map of the ruins. If you will assemble a squad of your most trusted freedom fighters, they should be able to follow the route to where the treasure lies. Okay, yeah. I've barely touched that. I've done a couple things in it. I've done a couple of the hunts. I think I'm technically level 2, but I need to go through and just do some more, clearly. Granted, every time I think to myself, what should I do on my off time? You know, when I'm playing the game and not doing main story on stream, it's like there's so much to do. What the fuck do I do? Such a big list. I still haven't even started like Ishgardian Restoration or anything. I know there's other things that I could do. I mean, I haven't even completed Palace of the Dead solo yet. I've got another one. I've got Heaven on High to do. Granted, I've heard that one's easier, but you know, I'll get to that bridge when I come to it. I want to beat, you know, Palace of the Dead first. Understood. I'll make sure every coin is accounted for, and that goes for the spending of it as well. Thank you. Oh, there is one other thing. When the time comes to draw up a plan for distributing the spoils, I would ask that you consult Elfino. I don't have a head for details. I'm not educated. I see that simply handing out sacks of gil won't solve anything, but I couldn't rightly tell you what to do instead. Oh, I know the feeling. I'd welcome any advice you could give us, Alphino. Of course, I shall be at your disposal. Commander, we got a problem. Deep breaths. Tell me what happened. A mob's gathered outside headquarters, and they've started making demands. You'd best come see for yourself. A mob? The hell could a mob want?
Step back, all of you!
Like hells we will! We know who you've got in there!
We're not leaving till you hand her over!
Oh, they want Fordola, don't they?
Bring her out! Bring her out!
What's going on?
Someone let slip about Fordola.
It's true then! The bitch really is in there! I knew it! I bloody knew it! We demand vengeance! Bring her out! Today we butcher the butcher!
This is not the way to go about things.
Come on, you don't mean that! We'd be no better than the Imperials if you'd all just calm down! Calm down! That monster and her thrice damned skulls dragged my man from our home and beat him to death in the streets!
Yeah, she did do a lot of fucked up things. It doesn't really justify killing her brutally, but fuck, I get your frustration at least.
We all know her crimes. She's a traitor and a murderer. How many of your resistance friends have died at her hands, eh? And here you are, protecting her!
So that's what all the fuss is about. Hearken to me, brothers and sisters of Alamigo.
Hey, who's this?
That's the Bull of Alamigo.
My friends, you are not alone in your anger, your grief, your despair, for it is mine as well. That gnawing pain in your breast, it is enough to bring an old bull to his knees. But I ask you, brothers and sisters, to think not only of the family and friends who were cut down before your very eyes, but to think also of the ones who were abducted, the ones who may yet live.
Okay, really not sure if you're like with them or against them yet, Raban.
Where were they taken? What became of them?
Oh, I see. You're playing to their. You're playing them. I see. Keep her alive so we can question them, so we can question her and find those answers. That might be enough to placate them.
I share your thirst for justice, for vengeance, but we will gain only fleeting satisfaction if we give in to our base appetites. We will never know the truth.
Clearly.
Now is the time that we, the people of Alamigo, must decide what manner of nation we will build for ourselves, and for generations yet unborn.
As I was saying, clearly my anti-bot thing didn't work the way I wanted it to. I guess they have more spellings of various things than I thought they would. They're really persistent.
When they look to our example, will they see a people who held fast to their principles? Or one who cast
You know, from a
them aside
programming
when
standpoint, I wonder how they actually work. Like, how do they just go and find, like, just scour? Honestly, I might look into it just for the, and not look into, obviously, buying viewers, but look into how the bots function, just out of sheer curiosity. Because they're really annoying. And if I can figure out how they work, I might be able to find a permanent solution to getting rid of them.
I say to you, it is
That
our
assumes I have enough free
responsibility
time to do
give
that, of
these
course, but,
prisoners a fair
you know,
trial,
I'll cross that
they
bridge when
might
I come to
answer
it.
all of Alamigo. The Garleans called us savages, and I'll be damned if we prove them right.
Thanks, Rabon. You really came to our assistance here. Wow. I didn't expect a standing fucking ovation, but
I know
alright.
You're right, I do. But I can't.
Oh, back to actually having to talk. My thanks, Raban. Listening to their anger, I could feel myself being swept away. 'Tis a difficult tide to stem. 'Twas that same rage which brought us to our feet and carried us to victory. But now the war is over, and all the unspent fury is being channeled into vengeance. Aye, and it's not just here. We have reports of mobs forming all over. They've been targeting folk known to have cooperated with the Garleans. It starts with insults most often, then someone picks up a stone. Some industrious souls even think to seek out the graves of Xenos and his officers. It was grim. I want to build a country where everyone, regardless of race of origin, can live side by side in peace. But maybe the time isn't right. Maybe people just aren't ready. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to try. The representatives will be here soon, and I'll be damned if I'm going to give up before I've even begun. Who are these representatives exactly? Oh, village elders, refugee leaders, and the like. It wouldn't be right for us to dictate the nation's future on our own, so we've planned a summit of sorts. We've even invited the Anata and the Chichurin to participate. Al Amigo stands at a crossroads, and this meeting will decide which path it takes. The matter of Fordola's sentence cannot be suffered to disrupt proceedings. Then let's execute her and be done with it. She herself asked to be put to death. Nago, I already explained why we wouldn't do that. Sending her to the gallows might satisfy people right now, but where would it end? Should we round up everyone who collaborated? And everyone who didn't resist? There would be no one left, and we'd be no better than Theodoric and Xenos. Begging your pardon, but might I be allowed to speak with Fordola? Only I caught a glimpse of her past. A moment of it, anyway, during the fight. She's done terrible things, unforgivable things, but in some ways she's a victim of the circumstance in which she was born. And that's something I can understand. Alright, speak with the prison guard when you're ready, and I'll come to join you. I want to talk to her too. I'll return to my duties, then. We've barely begun to investigate the facility where they gave Fordola her powers. Be fairly warned, friends. She will test you. Don't let your emotions color your judgment when she does. All right, I guess we're going too. I don't really talk, so I don't know why I'm going in. I guess just to observe.
So many visitors.
come to have a good laugh, have you?
Honestly, I'm not sure why I'm here, other than the fact that I just happened to be with them when they had this conversation.
Or do you mean to put me out of my misery? To finish what you started? It's about bloody time.
That's not why we're here, no. Do you remember what I said? How I promised you you'd live long enough to see us win our freedom? Well, I meant it. And not to mock you either.
You're wasting your time. All of this is pointless! There's no reason to keep me alive, and you know it! I killed your men. I killed my men. And you know what my only regret is? That I didn't kill you when I had the chance!
You really aren't enjoying prison very much, are you?
That's a lie, and you know it. You think we can't tell what you're trying to do? That we're blind?
Oh, maybe I'm blind, because I completely read that. She's trying to bait us into killing her because she's bored or something. Oh, fuck, I'm a dumbass. How can I be so blind?
You're stupid. You're ruthless. Relentless. You'd give up anything and everything to get what you want. You didn't come this far, climbing over the bodies of your own brothers and sisters just to piss it all away.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. I mean, her situation is terrible, but doesn't really justify much. Oh, echo time. Don't worry about me, everybody. I'm just gonna have some internal thoughts right now.
Come along, Fadola. We mustn't be late. The Imperial Viceroy will be attending today's banquet.
All right! Father, what's Lord Gaius like? Is he nice? Are you friends?
There you go again with all your questions.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way. Like, I'm surprised nobody fucking comments. Like, when when we do the whole thing, like, we gotta be there for, like, a couple minutes, right? Like, I assume this happens, like, real time, that we're witnessing these memories in real time instead of just the information being implanted instantly and we're fine. So, nobody bothers asking, like, are you good?
Lord Gaius is a great and honourable man who looks after all of New York. He's very busy, and if we don't hurry, we'll miss our chance to see him.
Oh, for a second, I thought that face paint or tattoo or whatever it is was a Garlean eye. But it's not.
Filthy tin-head lovers.
Thanks for the resub, Fen. As always. I know, 18 months. It's crazy, right?
Father, what did that man call us?
And that's only since affiliate. So technically, I've been streaming for 24 months? Holy shit, I've been streaming for 2 years. Or almost 2 years. I think I technically started May of 2023? I think? It was late May, I think. I don't have a lot of the old VODs from that early couple months, but man, it's crazy to think about, isn't it? Hi?
The little tin-head lover doesn't know what she is, eh? A traitor, sweetheart. A backstabbing bitch who gladly betray her kith and kin to gnaw on what few scraps the Imperials deign to toss her. Like your bastard father and whore mother.
Okay, that's just rude. Like, I get being angry and everything, but you don't have to literally insult and do this to a kid, right? Like, this is just unnecessary. Like, you can have your grievances, but no point in traumatizing a kid.
My parents are good people. They've never done
Look at that fucking
Oh, but they were
satisfied
themselves and
smile.
their bitch spawn, weren't they? You're just as guilty as them.
Wow, you're an asshole. I'm sorry, a shitty situation doesn't justify being rude like that to just a kid. Oh, you... why?
Viola!
Traitors!
Please, you have to do something.
Didn't mean to skip that.
Soldiers of the Imperial Army are under no obligation to intervene in the disputes of army.
We're citizens. We have rights. I'm scared.
Like, I get the civilians are angry at the situation, but there's no reason to do this, probably.
It's alright. It's alright. They don't understand, but they'll see in time. They'll see that this is the only way to survive.
Traitors! Traitors!
Granted, I don't know how much of this is legitimate. Oh, that's a big rock. As I was trying to say, I don't know how much of this is, it might be actual memory, and how much maybe it's perception of memory. I don't think it's really ever been explained if the Echo takes into, like, perception of how events went into account, or if it's literally just a straight-up retelling. But those warped, like, the twisted, like, grids were almost... That's why I'm thinking it's more perception than anything else, because that's, like, pretty horrible.
Viola, please. You already
Okay.
have citizenship. Why would you want to become a soldier?
That's fair enough. Which is pretty fucked up. Granted, when it comes to war and occupation, you know, nothing's ever...
What have you done to your face?
Everyone suffers. It's just the way things are, I suppose. Doesn't make it right, but...
Forgotten it already, have you? I'm honoring Father's memory.
By telling the world that you know better than a common savage.
Am I though, Mother?
That's a good point.
A
You know, I
renegade?
didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's fair. We've literally had that happen.
Can't you see? Citizenship
Too much lore to
means
keep
nothing
track
them.
of.
If
Especially
you
over the
want to
long
kill
period
my
of time
darling,
I've been
you're no
playing the
different from
story.
any other savage. So I'll play the part. I'll join the Legion and I'll make them respect me. And when the mob see that, they'll think twice before throwing their stones. Ansfrid, Rudolph, Emlyn. It's time. It'll be hard. Humiliating. They'll try to break us. Send us crawling back to our own kind. But we won't, no matter what. We'll bleed for them, die for them if we have to. We'll do whatever it takes to be free!
Yeah, I kind of got that was the implication, because she was honoring her father's memory. That's fucked. Yeah, trauma of, you know, literally watching your father die, essentially, in your arms is not exactly not traumatizing thing that would totally not change how you perceive the world. Definitely not. Hey, at least Alphino looked over at me. Everybody else fucking ignored me.
You mean to play the part one last time, eh? The unrepentant traitor whose death will serve to unite the people?
Shut up.
You had every chance to kill yourself. Fashion a noose from your clothes. Wait for the guards to leave you alone long enough to slip it over your neck.
I said shut up!
Oh, but then it would have all been for nothing, wouldn't it? Whatever it takes. That's what you said.
Why are you looking at me? I haven't said a single thing.
Have you? Had a little peek at my past.
How the fuck did you know that? Alright, yeah, sure. Definitely. Totally. Very clever.
Stolen memories tell you everything you need to know, do they?
No, no. I'm sure there's a lot of context I'm missing. It paints a not great
Don't
picture,
you dare
but...
patronize me! You don't know a god's damned thing about the life I've led. The bastards that killed him. The bastards that let it happen. My father deserved better! I swore I'd do whatever it took to make them pay!
Oh, no. What? Now you're echoing? Oh, you're seeing my memory. What? I didn't expect that to happen.
You. All that power. All that pain. It's too much. Too much for anyone.
Clearly not. I'm handling it perfectly. Or at least, I thought I was until the Dark Knight quests, apparently.
The lies. The betrayal. The endless fighting. Yet there you stand. Unbroken. How? Why?
It's interesting that somebody else gets to see things from our perspective. And apparently it does kind of just come in. Of course, those were flashes, so those probably weren't... Well, no. Hold on. The betrayal, so she got enough context. So they were kind of flashes? Okay. I'm thinking way too deeply into this. Yeah, I like that one.
Damn you. Damn you all.
You still have time, Fordola. Think about how you want to spend it. Let's go.
Arenwald, you, okay. Well, I hope seeing my memories has given you a little time to think, eh? Or given you a little bit to ponder. I like to imagine that it's not all just Heidelin's protection. Of course, then again, have I even heard anything since the end of Post Heaven's Word? I'm pretty much entirely on my own past that point. I don't know what we solved... I don't know that we solved anything exactly, but we've given Fordola something to think about at least. I found something new to think about too. I don't know about you, but the visions only come to me every now and then. And the way Fordola kept wincing, though, I get the feeling she's having them almost all the time. That's a lot of bad memories to deal with. I wonder, could there be some fundamental difference between one who isn't born with the echo and one who has been artificially imbued with it? Well, the immortal flames have been scouring that research facility ever since the liberation. There's a chance they might have some answers for us. General Alden's there overseeing the investigation. Let's go pay him a visit, shall we? Alright, what's the easiest way to get up there? I think you're right. I knew that line sounded familiar. It was definitely said by somebody else, because I know it definitely wasn't said by us. We're too quiet to say something that profound. Nope. Down? Yes, I remember that. Probably should have went with that line. But, you know, I think the memories and the echo was probably enough to get that point across. What news? You spoke with Fordola, I take it. Yes, as expected, she didn't say very much, but it wasn't a total waste of time. Harrenwald noticed something odd about her. He thinks she might be having visions almost constantly, which is not how the echo normally works. Have you found anything here that might explain why it's so different for her? We've been hard-pressed just to organize the research materials, let alone study them. To be frank, I'd welcome the Scion's expert assistance if you have time to lend a hand. Magitech pod, huh? Hey, this is the one that Cryo was put in, right? Also, that is a lot of what seems to be bodies. The device in which Cryo was held seems to be even more ominous now you know its purpose. The surrounding pods are marked with supply subject, while this one bears the label master subject. Okay. Oh. The Ironworks received a request from the Alliance to analyze these devices, and have been recording anything of interest. Do you notice the labeling? All the pods are designed to drain the aether of the occupant, save that one right there. Unlike the others, the interior has been fitted with an array of sensors to measure etheric waveforms. To what purpose, however, I couldn't tell you. Okay, so what I think they were doing was, since I'm pretty sure Cryo has the echo, perhaps the idea was to siphon, was for them to somehow connect the echo between Cryo and the other subjects, and then transfer that sort of connection into the test subject, or Fordola in this case. I think that's what's going on here. I'm no lore expert or scientist, but that sounds pretty, reasonable to me. Also, I can't get over the sheer amount of bodies. So many bodies, every one of them a victim of these experiments. Few show signs of any external injury. From what we've been able to determine, they perished from forcible ether extraction. Such a miserable way to die. I know little and less of science, so any light you can shed on this facility's operation would be much appreciated. Shall we start with you? I don't know why you think I'm qualified for this. I'm not a scientist. Taken in combination with the testimonies of Kryle and Thancred, I do begin to see exactly what the Imperials were attempting here. The enhancement procedure entails infusing a single candidate with ether siphoned from a multitude of supply subjects. As for the master subject, in this case Kryle, the patterns of her etheric activity would provide the model upon which they could artificially engineer the candidate's aura. Okay, so I was mostly right. They were just using that energy signature as a model to replicate rather than directly taking the energy signature and implanting it in somebody else. So I was like 90% of the way there. In other words, they were trying to recreate Kryle's echo? I believe so, which would explain our prisoner's present state. Kryle is possessed with an unrivaled ability to hear the whispers of the soul, and it seems probable that the procedure engendered the same acute sensitivity in Fordola. The soldiers who guard Fordola, many of them lost friends and family to the skulls. And there's a sentry at her door night and day. If she can't help sensing their thoughts and seeing their past. But you don't just see their past, you live it. All the emotions, all the pain. Imagine what it would do to you. You'd never be the same again. Indeed, as you may recall, Ysayle was completely transformed by a single glimpse of Fresvelger's past. Fordola has been forced to experience the agony of those whose lives she destroyed. The guilt must be unbearable. That explains her request to be executed. Sounds to me like a kind of justice. Regardless, she can suffer on for now. We have more pressing matters to consider. If the results of these experiments have been relayed back to Garlemald, there will be naught to stop the Empire from repeating the trick. They could give the echo to anyone, to an entire legion. We must be ready. We must learn all we can of these godforsaken procedures, and Fordola remains our best source of information. She'll not be getting her wish. Not yet. Right. Keep faith, lass. If you're to convince others to follow you, you must believe what you're telling them. People will respond to passion, but not if it's feigned. I understand. Thank you, General. We should leave it to the flames to it. Let's go. I don't exactly like the idea of leaving her there to, like, literally suffer and in guilt through literally experiencing the lives she destroyed. That's horrific. Couldn't we, like, move her to a high secure facility where she's not, like, where she's not surrounded by people that would inflict, like, or couldn't we find guards that weren't directly necessarily impacted by her actions? Like, this just seems cruel. If I had to spend every waking moment experiencing, like, the memories of literally the people I've wronged over and over and over, that's terrible. Fuck. I go looking for answers about the Echo and end up getting schooled by Raubon. Yet more evidence that I don't know what I'm doing. It's no wonder people listen to him and not me. General Alden is a veteran of countless campaigns, Lise. You cannot compare yourself to a commander of his experience. I know, but I also know that I couldn't have convinced that mob to give up and go home. Makes me realize how much we rely on his authority, and how much I still have to learn. I wonder what he'll do when everything here is settled. I mean, it's his homeland. After going through the trouble of winning it back, might he not want to stay? 'Tis a quandary which countless refugees now face. To continue the life they built in Ul'dah, or start again at the land of their birth. Oh, hey, Pippin. What's up? I am newly returned from Ul'dah with a message from the Sultana. Her Grace desires an audience with you. She understands that you have responsibilities here, but asks that you visit the palace at your earliest convenience. Well, I must away and attend to other business. Until next time, my friends. An audience with the Sultana. Depending on the nature of her consultation, this might be the perfect opportunity to inquire about the General's future plans. Are you telling me to snoop? Yes, we'd all like to know about those, Alphino, but not everyone's as comfortable interrogating royalty as you. Take no notice of him. Thank you. At least, like, don't just put words in my mouth and go tell me to do things that, like that. Like, that's fucking crazy. Well, the question of how to put the Mad King's treasures to good use shows no signs of answering itself. Shall we be about it or involved? I'm at your beck and call. And I should be getting back to my own tasks. I'll organize a squad to head down to the ruins and start preparing for the big meeting. Oh, send Nanamo my regards. And ours too, if you please. We shall see you on your return. Alright, back to Ul'dah. Okay. Aethernet. Chamber of Rule. Man, it's been a while since I've been up here. Actually, it hasn't been that long. I think the, what is it called? The, Manderville quest. The Hildebrand quest line brought me up here recently. Well, the last time we were in this room, it didn't end well.
I thank you for answering my summons in these most interesting times. You have been busy.
When am I not? Like, really, when am I not?
The liberation of Alamigo will have far-reaching consequences, and there is a matter upon which I would seek your counsel.
You're seeking my counsel? I'm not exactly a politician or like anything like that. I don't know what you think I'm gonna help you with.
I speak of Rauban and his future.
Of course you do. How convenient.
All know the tale of his rise from penniless refugee to member of the Syndicate and General of the Immortal Flames. Yet though he has come to call Ul'dah home, it will never be his homeland. He is a son of Alamigo.
Yeah.
And now that she is free, I thought it only a matter of time before he sought my leave to return to her. Indeed, I had resigned myself to his loss.
Okay.
Suffice it to say, I was greatly surprised to hear him speak so lightly of handing over the reins in Alamigo and retaking his place at my side.
To be fair, I think that's probably what Rauban was always planning on. Not only did I doubt he has any intention to, like, take over command of an entire region. He doesn't seem the type. Plus, he's made a good life here, and, well, I doubt he'd in good graces leave Nanamo here to well, we all know what happened the last time. We all know what happened the last time somebody tried something. And it was only really stopped because Rauban happened to make a really strong scene of himself.
I will welcome him with open arms, of course. He is my most trusted advisor and my dearest friend. But I have known the man a long time, And beneath that steely gaze, I spied a flicker of doubt. Whether Raubon chooses to remain in Uldar or return to Alamigo, I only wish that he do so with a heart unburdened by guilt or regret.
Makes
Yet,
sense.
How can he freely make such a choice, knowing how much I depend on him?
Yeah.
It is past time that I learned to discharge my duties as a sultana alone. I must go forth and see my realm with my own eyes, and hear the wind with my own ears.
Okay.
Might I have your company for a brief adventure?
Sure. Why not? You will be in no better hands.
Allow me a moment to change into something a touch less conspicuous, and I will join you outside.
Outside the quicksand, huh? Can only imagine this will go either very well or very, very poorly. Perchance you remember Lilira, the merchant's daughter. Well, this is the persona I assume when I venture beyond the palace walls to observe my subjects unnoticed. Ordinarily, Papashan would accompany me, but for this particular outing, I need an advisor, not a minder. And that is why I requested your company. Over the course of your many adventures, you've met people from all walks of life, in every corner of Eorzea, and I would make use of your worldly experience. I don't know if I'd call it necessarily worldly, but alright. Now let us be on our way. Our first destination is Stone's Throw, just beyond the gates of Nald. Well, there's plenty of great guilds. You could, like, you could always join a guild or something. Yep, Gate of Nald. Granted, I can't really see her doing, one of the guilds in Ul'dah. Can't really see her as a monk. Or, whatever the fuck the base version of monk is called again. Or, gladiator. Maybe mage, maybe black mage, but... Look upon this procession of tattered tents. These refugee camps, in squalor, at the mercy of the elements and Thanalan's predators both. The city's mighty walls offer safety, but the streets overflow with people as it is, and unless blessed by the hand of Nald himself, no refugee could ever hope to afford a dwelling in Ul'dah. 20 years have passed since the fall of Alamigo, and 5 since the calamity, yet the plight of the poor has grown more desperate, not less. As Sultana, the blame falls upon me. Your hands have been a bit tied, to say the least. Yes, my authority is limited, and that is an obstacle I must work to overcome. Shall we press on? I would follow the road to the unholy air. Where is this again? Oh, really far down the road. It was here, in this wholly unremarkable place, that my mother and father met their doom. I was but a child at the time. My parents were returning from an inspection of our interests in eastern Thanalan when an untimely rockslide crushed their carriage. To this day, it is not certain if the incident was simple misfortune or an expertly planned assassination. Raubon once offered to reopen the investigation and bring me the truth he assumed I must surely crave, but I refused. Even if my parents' deaths were orchestrated by the monetarists, we would only have brought their hirelings to justice. The true villains, those who plotted to put me on the throne as a biddable puppet, were ever beyond our reach. Thus did I plan to strip the merchants of their power and place our nation in the hands of its citizens, quite unaware of the consequences of my actions would have for you and yours. I shudder to think of how many goodly souls paid the price of my naivete. But I am no longer a child reciting words with witless obedience, and I will not be used as a pawn in the monetarist's damnable games. Forgive my outburst. You're one of the few people to whom I feel I can speak my mind. Come, let us return to Ul'dah and visit the Colosseum. Okay. Kind of, interesting spot to come to. I'm not gonna spend gil and teleport, I'm just gonna drive back. Sure, it's only like 200 gil, but I'm like right here. And if I'm ever going to afford housing, I'm gonna need to keep all the gil I can afford to keep. I've been trying to spend less gil on teleporting and just going places myself. Okay. So, from here we want the Colosseum, which, yep, Gladiators Guild. From the moment I became Sultana, I found myself thrust into an endless parade of document signing and ceremonies. For years, I simply signed where I was told to sign and sat where I was told to sit, blissfully oblivious to what any of it meant. Yet one good thing did come from that ignominious chapter of in my life, for it was during an official visit to the Colosseum that I first met Raubon. The match I had been invited to attend was not at all what I expected. They had pitted the Bull of Alamigo against some dozen or so rival gladiators. Blinkered though I was, I would not stand for so obvious an injustice, and demanded to see a fair fight, one man against another, and my royal wish was duly granted. It was not until later that I learned of the gambling ring which had arranged for Raubon to die on the sands that day. Regardless, my intervention meant that Raubon had but a single opponent to dispatch, in which he duly did, and when he knelt before me to receive the winner's purse, he swore that he would one day offer me his blade in service. Surrounded as I was by liars and manipulators, I confess I dismissed it as a pleasant piece of theater. But, as you know, Raubon is a man of his word. Though it took him another 5 years of fighting on the blood sands, he amassed a fortune so great as to not only buy his freedom, but a seat on the syndicate. And then I had my blade. Nope. Yeah, I was gonna say, is it echo time? We gonna see these events unfold? We gonna get the lore? Dead.
Your Grace, you mustn't! The danger is too great! Please, Your Grace, come back! I beg of you!
The little hop over the corpse.
Your Grace, I have kept the promise made.
So you have, and in turn, so too shall I keep mine. With your winnings, you have become one of the 6 most wealthy souls in all Uldar, and so, as tradition dictates, Rauben Aldin, you have earned yourself a seat on the Syndicate. May your new station garner you still greater glories.
I am honored, Your Grace, and vow to serve with every fiber of my being from this day till my last. Long live the Sultana, and long live Uldar!
Yeah, that was cute. Words cannot well express what that man means to me. There are others who care deeply for my well-being, of course. Papashan's love for me is that of a grandsire and his grandchild. But upon matters of governance, I cannot turn to bodyguards and maidservants for counsel. Rauban, with the authority of a syndicate position, was the first sword I could wield. His was the only edge which could cut the strings that bound me. I'll take the silver. We must make haste. My absence will not go unnoticed by the Sultan's Warren for long, and there are other places I would visit. To Arzaneth Ossuary. That name does not ring a bell. Thaumaturge's Guild. Oh, it's Thaumaturge's Guild. Okay. Sure, yeah. Probably should have just went back to this Aethernet thing that I was at earlier, but it's right around the corner. God, I haven't been in the Thaumaturge's Guild for a while. When the calamity threatened, Rauban led the Alliance forces into battle on the plains of Cartenow, and I remained here. I prayed with all my heart that the Archon Louisoix would have the power to rouse the 12. Since that day, I have made a custom of visiting this shrine during each of my little excursions. Here I seek the blessings of Thal, reflect upon my choices, and ask myself that if I am fulfilling my duties as a Sultana. You are rightly celebrated as a champion because you have led the line in 100 battles for the good of Eorzea. In much the same way, I believe the measure of a monarch lies in how she leads her people in times of adversity. If I am to be a Sultana worthy of the name, I cannot turn a blind eye to the trouble facing Uldar. I have chosen my path. With Ala Mhigo now freed from Imperial chains, I finally see a way to aid the refugees. Already, many displaced Ala Mhigans seek to begin the long trek home. To facilitate that process, I have made a small contribution, an artisan school in Rhalgr's Reach for any who would wish to learn new trades. Realistically, however, it will take years for such trainings to yield tangible benefits. But we do not have years. These people will need shelter and employment if they are to survive, and this time the Uldan Treasury shall provide. Precisely where and how to allocate the necessary funds is, of course, another question. If you ask a member of the Syndicate, they will probably end up trying to fill their own coffers with it, or try to fulfill their own intentions. So why not seek somebody who works with the refugees? A wise suggestion. Mayhap a visit to the Gold Saucer is in order. Its proprietor is a member of the Syndicate, and he is one of the few who pay refugees a fair wage. I wonder, are you acquainted with Godbert Melnerville? I mean, yeah, a little. More his son than anybody else, but, you know, it counts. We've crossed paths more than once. Then I will not need to explain his eccentric nature. Let us make our way to the landing, and I will see that word is sent to the Gold Saucer. Godbert should only be too glad to receive us. Airship landing time. Where... Alright, I need to take an elevator up. Okay, the easiest way... I forget the easiest way to do that. Oh, airship landing. Duh. It's literally on the list. I just overlooked it somehow. I've ridden aboard a public airship before, but this shall be my first visit to the Gold Saucer. I must confess to some excitement. Gold Saucer, please. I had heard descriptions of its splendor, yet I never dreamed it would be so bright and inviting. No, I couldn't possibly. We did not come here to fritter away the royal coin. Godbert will be expecting us. Come, let us head directly to the lounge and ignore these gaudy temptations. Alright, it's up. I've only been in here like 3 or 4 times. I've never actually played any of the games or anything. I believe this is where we are meant to... we are to meet Lord Manderville. Shall we sit while we await his coming? My apologies, Your Grace. I have kept you waiting. No apologies are necessary, Godbert. My request was sudden, and you were kind to make yourself available at such short notice. With the intrepid warrior of light and the Sultana herself on calling, there is no more important engagement. As to the purpose of my visit, I would have your thoughts on how the Crown might best aid the refugees residing in Vanland. You are aware, I am sure, that many of Alamigo's displaced sons and daughters long to return to their newly liberated homeland, and you are also aware of how they will suffer without shelter and work to sustain them. I would use our nation's wealth to spare them that suffering. What advice have you for me on on the matter of how it might best be distributed? The unusual circumstances of our meeting and your Grace's choice of companion would suggest to me a desire for an honest and unvarnished opinion. I shall give you one. My advice to you is stop. Taxing Uldar's wealth to save Alamigan refugees is a terrible, terrible idea. You oppose my proposition? You oppose that proposition? Most empathetically, I agree with your Grace that the refugees must have housing and employment, but what profit is there for Uldar in this arrangement? Profit? After all you have done for Garabania's displaced, I thought you the very last person to seek to benefit from their misfortune. Forgive me, your Grace, but you appear to be laboring under a misapprehension. It is a fine endeavor to support one's fellow man, I fear, however, that your stance is one born of pity. Your intent is to save the refugees, is it not? For all our potential, we are indolent creatures by nature. If unconditional charity is all we know, then we begin to rely upon it, to expect it. And then we must consider Uldah's own poor and downtrodden. Should they hear of you spending the nation's coin, not to improve their lot, but nurture the distant citizens of Alamigo, it is unlikely they will applaud your generosity. Surely it is not your Grace's intention to foster new resentments, but to spread goodwill. And that's actually a very valid point. Indeed. Then any support I pledge to the refugees must promote self-sufficiency, whilst also serving the interests of the people of Uldah. Exactly so. Such an arrangement will create far more equitable relationship with the returning Alamegans, even as it generates the revenue required to win the approval of your subjects. You have given me much to ponder, Lord Manderville. I'll thank you for your candor. Well, that like, I'll be honest, that was some real solid, genuine advice from Godbert. Seeing him primarily as a joke character in the Hildebrand quest kind of, you know, almost makes me a little surprised at such genuine, legitimate, like, reasonable critique of that plan and how best to execute a different plan. Profit. The thought never even crossed my mind. But standing about lamenting my naivete will not do anyone any good. I shall consider my lesson learned and press on. Are you perchance acquainted with any successful merchants? If my attempt at philanthropy is obliged to reap a profit, it would seem wise to consult someone with a knack for business. Ordinarily, I would not trust any agent of the East Eldenard Trading Company, but if you hold this Hancock fellow in high esteem, I am content to be led by you. You may repay my faith by journeying to the distant Kudigane and speaking with him on my behalf. Eager though I am to visit those shores, I have not the leisure for a lengthy sea voyage. Now, assuming you will travel as adventurers are wont to do, I shall await your report by the Aetheryte in Uldah. A fair journey to you, and a swift one, if you please. Alright, yeah, sure. That one I will actually teleport to, because I don't think there's any other way to get there. Kugane. Seeing 1,300 gil go out of my pocket isn't pleasant, but it's fine. Well, I guess I could have theoretically taken a boat. I don't know if there's actually, like, a boat captain that could actually take us there. Ruby Bazaar. What blue quest do you have for me? Oh, dungeon. Yeah, sure, I'll pick this up. Complete it later, but I'll pick it up now. There's a lot of optional dungeons I haven't done yet. Really should just sweep through them all. Like, put like a stream aside for it and just sweep through all of the optional dungeons. To what do I owe the pleasure? Or are you here on business? I beg your pardon. Her Grace the Sultana would have my opinion on how best to invest the wealth of Uldah. My dear, I have you to thank for this recognition. I am sure, and I am flattered that you came to me. Truly flattered. But why settle for a lowly apprentice when you could have the master? Upon matters of profit, there is no living soul better qualified to advise her grace than Chairman Lolorito, a man whose morning exertions are said to fill his garderobe with gold. I should be happy to arrange a meeting with you, say at the Scion's former headquarters in Thanalan. The Waking Sands would seem a suitably neutral venue for negotiations, don't you think? Fare you well, and may your dealings prove fruitful. Okay. Well, not really the answer I was hoping for. I was kind of hoping to avoid talking to somebody like Lolorito, but fine. Wait, no. Why would I do that? I have completely forgotten the reason to where I was supposed to meet up. Welcome back. Did your merchant friend have any useful advice to share? With Lolorito? And you agreed to this? I am well aware of his standing in the field of business, but I'd hoped to keep the Monetarist at arm's length, and him in particular. Nay, I cannot live in fear of the man. I must learn how to treat him if I am to rule Ul'dah effectively. Very well, I will meet with Lolorito. Let us go on ahead to the Waking Sands and prepare for his coming. Oh, hi, I'm here. Okay, sick. So this is where the Scions first congregated. I have heard many tales, but never had occasion to visit. To work, then. The hour of the meeting draws near, and I would gather my thoughts. Pray see to it that we have the appointed room to ourselves.
A personal summons from the Scions. This must be important business indeed. Though, if it concerns anything so underhand as an assassination, I fear I can be of little help.
Straight to business, shall we? Yeah, you probably already know what's happening.
You have made your point. 'Tis indeed unsettling to find oneself seated across from an impassive mask.
Is this the first time we're going to see you without it?
There, would this better please your grace? Or should I address you as Lady Lilira?
Yeah, I figured you were already aware of what was happening.
Nay, the deception has served its purpose. I'm glad to see you found amusement in my little jest, Lord Lolorito, but shall we proceed to the business at hand?
By all means. I must say, I'm most eager to hear your proposal.
Simply put, I would aid the refugees camped in Thanalan in their efforts to return to Alamigo. The reparations you paid in the wake of your earlier misdemeanors will be used to fund the endeavor, together with the fortune seized from the late Teleji Adeleji's estate.
Okay, yeah, that's freeze.
But this plan is not intended to benefit the displaced alone. I would make of this an investment which shall enrich Ul'dah and Alamigo both. And who better to consult on matters of profit than the wealthiest man in all of Thanalan? I beseech you then, Lord Lolorito, share with us your mercantile wisdom.
Can't deny that the man likes money. Sure, this has probably piqued his interest.
'Twould seem your grace has matured beyond acts of earnest yet misplaced charity. Pray tell me more. To summarize, in return for facilitating the repatriation of refugees and assisting in the establishment of new industry in Alamigo, you ask that a proportion of all subsequent profits be promised to Uldar.
That seems pretty reasonable.
Huh, I am impressed, your grace. 'Tis an elegant solution, albeit one lacking certain crucial details, specifically which industry and where.
How swiftly you identified the weakness in my plan, just as I knew you would.
Okay.
Your travels have taken you across the length and breadth of Gir Abania, and you know the land far better than I. Which of the settlements you visited would best provide a home for our refugees? Which has the greatest potential to flourish, given the appropriate investment?
Oh god, you're gonna make me answer this question? I don't fucking know. I genuinely don't know. I doubt they need salt. Although I guess they could be a decent industry. It's something Uldad doesn't have, really. And I don't remember what Alagana and Alagiri really have going for them. Hold on. I'm too invested in the story quest to not remind myself a little bit of what's been going on here. Let's see. Okay. Alagana is like quarry. I remember that now. Alagiri. Alagiri was a trade hub. That could also work. Normally I wouldn't do something like this, but I want to actually, like, be smart here, and I genuinely don't remember. If I was, like, playing this in a little bit more of a condensed style, instead of, like, once a week over the course of months, I would probably remember all of these details, but I don't. All three are good, and from the information I've looked up, all three are decent answers. Stonework could be good, but we already have a miners guild, so there's really no point in, like, importing that kind of stuff. The trade hub could be really good. Although the beautiful stonework could work. I don't think we'd see much, like, unless we somehow manage to do a deal with all profits from, like, the entire trading, like, area, which I don't think is going to happen. Alagiri's out. We're already kind of got, like, stonemasons and miners and things. I think, again, the saltery is the one unique thing that, like, I can really point to. So I think I'm going to go with that. Oh, I accidentally tapped back out.
I know the Saltery and its products well. The Imperial invasion brought an end to their more widespread distribution, much to the dismay of many a wealthy gourmand, myself included. Salt has ever been a transformative ingredient, and in this instance, I dare say, it could transform a...
Wait, did I just choose the correct answer? Okay, we take these.
The local citizens will need to be consulted, of course, but I trust the East Aldenar Trading Company can be relied upon to provide its assistance in negotiating a mutually beneficial arrangement.
Naturally, Your Grace. I shall dispatch representatives well versed in the extraction of this white gold and wring every last ounce of profit from its production. The Loch's bounty will contribute to Alamigo's enrichment, whilst easing the burden on the bull's aching shoulders. Just as Your Grace desired.
No, I would say that went well.
A deal is struck then.
I fear it will be many years before I feel comfortable taking part in such negotiations. But I shall not complain. We have piqued Lolorito's interest and secured his invaluable expertise. Thank you. I could not have done it without you. More gold. Let's see, what time is it? We got time for one more. Our course is decided. I shall return to the palace and have my ministers begin work on implementing the particulars of the plan. If I could prevail upon you one more time, I would ask that you convey the details of our negotiations to Commander Hext on your return to Alamigo. My thanks again. Together we have laid the groundwork for an endeavor which promises to benefit the peoples of Alamigo and Ul'dah both. Love me some salt. You're back. What did Nanimo... no, sorry, you aren't allowed to talk about your audience. Are you allowed to talk about your audience with the Sultana? So, Raban says he's going to return to Ul'dah, but she isn't sure he wants to. That is something we don't know. But I'm pleased to hear she's committed to helping our refugees come home. And this plan to revitalize the Sultry does make a lot of sense. And quite how you convinced her to seek Lolorito's help is another question. After all that has happened, he is the very last person I would expect her to turn to for advice. But on a more practical note, Lise, I'm assuming the interim government elects to accept Ul'dah's proposal. I have one caveat I should like you to include in the bargain. Alamigo must be permitted to cover a portion of the investment. We have a fortune at our disposal, after all, and allowing Ul'dah to provide the entirety of the capital will afford Lolorito too much control. Honestly, Alphino, it's like Kugane never happened. What exactly does a ruthless profiteer have to do to earn your trust? But yes, you do make a good point. First things first, though, we need to discuss this proposal with the Sultry's residents. Riskar, how do you fancy explaining the Sultana's plan to your grandfather? I'd like to hear what Watt thinks of the idea before agreeing to anything. Right away, Commander. Would you mind coming along? I might need you to fill in the details. Then I shall come as well. Should Watt wish to discuss figures, my knowledge of the nation's finances may prove useful. Let's see, we are going over there. All right. You know, it's kind of funny that we set up all these problems in Ul'dah, like, during post Realm Reborn, and we're just now getting around to dealing with them. Kind of makes me a little upset that we haven't really explored any of the other two cities yet. Like, we've gotten a little bit out of Limsa, but not really much of Gridania. Actually, practically nothing out of Gridania, really, other than the Sylphs storyline. And that really wasn't that much. It was like any other nation dealing with, like, primal concerns. Hello. What manner of mischief brings you young'uns to Old Wat this time, huh? They want to rebuild the Saltery, Grandad. Tell them about the deal. Well, bugger me. We've never had the coin or the hands to put the place back to how it was, but it sounds like that's about to change. There's just one small wrinkle in your plan. Doesn't account for all the nasties queuing up to eat anyone who goes near the shore. The king used to send soldiers to call the buggers, but the Imperials weren't about to help the likes of us. Don't worry, Grandad. I'll take care of all that. Commander Hex has been talking about starting up regular patrols, and I'm sure she'd assign me to the lock if I asked. I'd appreciate that, Whiskar, my lad. Truly I would. So does this mean you've gotten better with that blade of yours? I've been training, but mostly to kill Imperials. You've some experience hunting monsters, don't you? Think you could cast an eye over a few of the local beasties and teach me how to deal with them? Let's not waste any time. I'll see you by the lock. Whilst you are busy attending to the local fauna, I shall have Master Wat explain to me exactly what is required to restore the Saltery to its former glory. Good hunting. Right then, I've got a spyglass here you can use to take a closer look at these pests. Once you've got their measured, so you can tell me what to do, and we'll see how I get on. I don't know what I'm exactly looking for here, like its neck? It's not like I see an obvious weak point or anything here. Oh? Its jaw? The fuck kind of a weak point is a jaw? Generally, I just brute force these things, but yeah, I guess. The Abbey's entire body is protected by a hard carapace, but the underside of the head looks soft and vulnerable. Looks like you found a Yabby. They say hitting their shells like smashing a rock. Any suggestions? Aim for the soft underside of the head. Vulnerable under the head, are they? Right then. Wish me luck. There's a... like, sure, you can brute force your way through things, but there's a... you know, there's a special thing about being an actual, like, tactical fighter and knowing your enemy's weaknesses and exploiting them. There's only so much you can hit something super hard until it dies. Like, eventually you get to something that just doesn't work on. I think. I'm not 100%. You see, I've never personally, you know, as the Warrior of Light and everything, you know, experienced something I couldn't just attack a lot of times until it dies. Thanks. I just did just as you told me, and the Wavekin went down like a sack of potatoes. Let's find something else. I think I can handle the Yabbies now, so we should try something different. What else is out there? That one's easy. The Phobad's hands are large and powerful, but destroying its crystallized core could render the salt golem inanimate. You sense power pulsating from behind its brow. Ugh, a Phobad. How do I defeat one of those? Said it really, really hard. What am I, fucking Goku? Inside its head, is it? I'll try to stab it right between the eyes, then. It's not easy, fighting with the Liberator of Alamigo, watching your every move, but I got the job done. Thanks for the advice. I feel a lot better prepared for my patrols now. Anyway, we should head back to the Saltery before Granddad starts to worry I've been snipped into pieces and fed it to Yabby's hatchlings. No. You. Talk to what? I see you've returned in one piece. Dealt with those beasties then, did you? I fought them myself, after a bit of instruction from her. Once I've shared what I've learned with the others, we should have no trouble keeping the shoreline clear. Good lad. A fine young man you've become, Whiskar. A fine young man indeed. Too often of late I hear tales of folk over in the city. Drunk on victory and too hungry for revenge. Their heads stuck firmly in the past. But we need to set our sights on the future, on things which will improve our lot. Things like getting the Saltery ready to welcome our long-lost countrymen. Alright. And as much as I'd love to stay on and play a little bit more, I am tired. It was a long day at work today. So, thanks everybody so much for watching, if you still are. I'll be back tomorrow night with Final Fantasy 16? I gotta go look at my own schedule. I don't even fucking remember my own schedule. Yes, Final Fantasy 16 tomorrow. If I get an opportunity, I will stream this again on Saturday. I didn't put it on the schedule because I don't think I'm going to have that opportunity. But if it does arrive, I will be live. I'll send out a notification in the Discord if that happens. But regardless, if you enjoyed and want to catch more streams, the easiest way to do so would be to hit the buttons on your respective platforms. You know the deal. Everybody says it. Subscribe and the bell on YouTube. Follow button on Twitch. You know how this works. Gotta say it. I hate doing it. It does work. But so I say it anyway. But regardless, I hope everybody enjoyed and have a good night. Bye-bye.